Hello and welcome to Drawing with Lord Karnage. Good news, Ethel the Cyborg Ninja has been successfully funded on Kickstarter. A print edition will happen. In fact, I'm drawing it right now. So thank you to everyone. Thank you very much for taking a chance on a new character and what should be a great space adventure. So let's get started here on a few more details, a few more pages. All right, everybody. This is a very exciting day today because, well, for one thing, this coffee's delicious. And I'm working on two panels, or two pages, for Ethel the Cyborg Ninja. This one here where she's standing here soaked in blood, holding a flamethrower with a hallway filled with carnage and blood and destruction after wiping out the majority of an evil spaceship crew near the end of the Ethel book. And then we have Errol, and Space Car has no power, so he's actually attached to Errol with a like a giant bungee cord and just swings around and acts as a cannon. And there's Edit Station 1 and Jesus, giving her a couple pointers, and Jesus, of course, wants to just get back home because Air Fox is on at 9. Why Jesus does not have a DVR is beyond me. I don't know, but I'll be drawing a flamethrower here today on Ethel, and probably won't get all this done today. I might do a rough ink on the spaceships, and then Edit Station 1 and Jesus are pretty easy to draw, but that's what I'm looking at here. I drew this last night, and there's a digital sketch layer back there. So you can see it started out looking like this. Actually, well, these are two different digital sketches. I did the flamethrower in a different one, but I blocked out Ethel's figure and face using sketch lines, and then went over that with ink, or digital ink, and just drop the digital ink out of there. So this has a lot more work to do. I really just want her just covered with blood. She's just wiped out like 8,000 of these bad guys using a combination of swords and lasers and guns and flamethrowers. And she's holding a flamethrower in this shot because it's one of my books. Why wouldn't she be holding a flamethrower? Also, as Space Guard says, spaceships of red, blue, and green, you can hear the alien ladies scream. We want Truxton. Blah. Get a lot of comments in these videos about the screen that I'm using here, and this is a Wacom Cintiq, which is a Wacom tablet like built into a screen. And yes, they are extremely expensive, but this is for professional use here. I'm doing a combination of like my comic work, which is part of Classic Game Room, and also the packaging work that I do for things like the DVD, like the new t-shirt designs and stuff. And over the last year, when I've been getting more back into the art, I really struggled with doing everything by hand and then moving it into a digital environment and then being stuck with a mouse and like an ancient version of Photoshop. So I went with a tablet, but I can't do that thing where I'm drawing on a tablet looking up at a screen. I've tried that before. I can't stand it. All right, now here's a treat. What I'm holding here is the completed Best of Classic Game Room Blu-ray, and this is running weeks behind, and the DVD as well. Took longer to film than expected. The QA process took longer than expected, and then I ended up fixing one issue with the disc, which set it back 3 weeks further, and all the packaging and everything is done except for the insert for the Hyper Laser Vision album set, which is what I'm completing here. This is actually done, but I got to flatten it and then save it and get it ready for print. But we have Stella here, and then my amplifier, microphone amplifier, and controller. And here's the inside where we get to see me with a beer. Nice shot of the microphone. Here's a look at the packaging for the special edition Laser Hypervision album set. And this is these are the very last pieces to be printed. So I'm gonna do some QA work here on the text. Make sure everything's spelled right. Make sure all the games are spelled right. and get this thing out of here to the printer so that people can start to get their movies that they've ordered. So it's not just Ethel the Cyborg Ninja around here, although I do have page 11 started here. Page 10, I'm working on some inking on trying to get the dark murky background right here. I'm going to drop in a black background with some dim light highlights. I'm probably going to put some gray on top of her since she's in a dark hallway, and this is going to be a pretty ominous scene where she's in this. She enters the space station, and it's not what she expects, and we don't know what she's going to encounter. I'll probably put some ventilation holes here. Just in case we need ventilation for that fire. I'm still working out the page layout here, but I've put the rough inks down for Errol and Space Gar, who are talking to Ethel inside the space battleship thing. And now I'm going to draw Jesus and Edit Station 1, who are actually inside of Errol. And there'll be more establishing shots on other pages. I'm jumping around the book a bit here. All right. Well, there's the rough page layout. Let's take the digital sketch layer off. Still got to finish up some work on her legs. So I'm going to go do that right now. Let's see, this would be black here. So here's the rough page layout right now with some inks that are coming together, and as you can see, there's a dark panel down here. The background up here is going to be mostly white. I'm going to put some more blood and stuff up here in the background behind her, but she still pops out of the back at the top of the page, and there's going to be a word balloon here when I figure out what she's going to say. But I need to put some color or some blacks down here on this panel to balance it out, and I'm actually going to use a fade. So I think all my lines should be filled in down here. One of the best features in Photoshop, history. For when you screw things up, which I do a lot, you can undo them. Put a little more black on the top. There we go. All right. Zoom back out and don't need much of a background here. Like some panels need a background. I typically draw a background for an establishing shot, but then eliminate it for most of the other panels. The focus is usually on the characters, but when there needs to be background, there is. For this panel, there just does not need to be. It'll be established in an earlier page that they're in the spaceship with a wide shot showing the whole interior. And she's clearly going to be in a hallway in front of a door, because she's about to break into the bridge and kill everybody on the bridge. Maybe. I guess we'll see. You can see I added some blood to her sword here. And I'm going to put some more on the rest of her outfit now. All right, well, this isn't 100% complete, but it's come along nicely, I think. She's covered in blood. It got a little bit of a background in there. Not much, just a bit of contrast to round the whole thing out. Space Gar, is this when I drop what you refer to as a bad 80s one-liner? And he chips in, feel the heat. It would seem that you've killed 99% of all life forms on board. Good job. There's few problems in life that a flamethrower and space spandex can't solve. Wise words from Space Gar once again. Don't celebrate yet, Ethel. There's a few more bad guys on the bridge. Oh, come on. Let's just blow that thing up and go home. Oh, come on, just blow that thing up and let's go home. Air Fox is on at 9. And you don't want to miss Air Fox. Once again, thank you for backing Ethel. And we'll see more of her soon, as well as some other comics from Jesus and the Mighty Lord Karnage, Book 2. So, let's go.